name is Viv Clements, and today I'm going to be swatching for you our latest collection. It is called the Y2K collection. So this is our latest Luxio collection. It consists of 3 colors, 3 metallic colors. So they are absolutely beautiful, something different and super exciting. So we have Rave, we have Y2K, and we have Chill. They apply beautifully. They basically apply opaque on each application. They are a soak-off gel polish. So they work the exact same way our standard Luxio polishes work, but they're a metallic. So I'm going to walk you through the application of each of these colors and the finish. So I'm going to finish one in shine on and the other in matte on, so that you can see the difference between a high shine finish and a matte finish. I have to say, with this particular collection, I really love the matte finish over the metallics. It just gives it this really beautiful velvet kind of effect. Now, they can be used obviously as full coverage for gel mani, but also for art. They're so pigmented that they're really super easy to use. As part of our Luxio range, they're 100% gel. They're solvent-free. They are manufactured in Canada, cruelty-free, vegan. What else can I tell you? 100% gel. So I'm very excited to bring these to you. Once I've done the swatching on these 3 colors, I'm then going to walk you through just a couple of quick salon designs that I've put together, so that you can have a look and see how easily you can create something beautiful as a feature nail or whatever for your clients. So let's get started. So, Chill. Okay. As you can see, it's very pigmented. So you get beautiful coverage on each coat. Fully opaque and goes on really nicely and smooth. Just beautiful. So that's one coat. I'll pop that in and cure it. And for the second coat, so you only need a really light touch, and it just applies super smooth and super easy. So that's what it looks like in a high shine, and we're going to pop it in, cure it, and then finish it off in matte on. And finishing off with matte on, just checking it in my line of light. And we'll pop that in and cure it for 30 seconds. Okay, and for the end result, a little bit of prep and wipe on a lint-free pad, and remove the tacky layer. And there it is in matte on. So that's Chill. Absolutely beautiful finish when finished in matte on. So, on to the next one. So the next color is Y2K. It's almost like a sterling grey. And again, you'll see that you get full opacity on that first coat. Just a really light touch, and we'll pop that in and cure it. And for the second coat, so it's a really luscious, rich application, each coat. Just beautiful. Okay, and let's pop that in and cure it for 30 seconds. So, finishing off in matte on, or with matte on. Just checking. Okay, and we'll pop that in and cure it. Okay, let's see what this one looks like matte on. So a little bit of prep and wipe. Wow. Really beautiful effect. It's like almost like a charcoal, or a blackboard. Looks amazing. Okay, so that one is Y2K. Okay, and our last swatch is Rave. So this is a lilac that has like a silver sheen to it. You only need the lightest touch and not a lot of product at all for these colours. So we'll pop that in and cure it. Okay, and for the second coat, just taking off a bit of product. And there we go. So I'll pop that in, let's cure it. Okay, and finishing up with matte on. And let's give that a cure. And for the reveal, and there you go. That's Rave, finished in matte. So really beautiful. Okay, I hope you enjoy the following salon designs. So for this first design, I'm going to apply a coat of Y2K over the entire nail. So I'm just going to make sure I get a really good even coat over the entire nail, because I'm only going to apply one coat as my base. I do have a little bit of a fluff in there, so I'm just going to try and remove that. So yeah, so I'm making sure that I have good coverage and that you know, it's nice and even, and then I'll pop that in and cure that for 30 seconds. And now I'm going to go straight in with a coat of matte on over the entire nail. So this is going to be my base for the design, and I'm just going to cap that in matte on and then pop it in and cure it for 30 seconds. So now, using a number 2 brush, I've actually I've cut the brush at the base to make it thinner. So I've basically you know, altered the shape of it a little because I wanted a finer line on one number 2. And the first flower I have done in chill, and this one I'm doing in rave. So just place a dot in the middle, and then using the tip of your brush, start from the outer side of the petal and then just work it in towards the center. I did give it a quick snap cure in between just then, and now finishing up the last flower, which I'm making a little bit smaller. So it's just super easy little stick flowers. Like they're just like little lines. And just make sure you just follow around so that it follows, you know, the shape and the direction of how the flower petals should go. Okay, so now that the flowers are complete, they've been cured, and now I'm just going to add on the outer side of the center of the flower a little bit of Aurora Silver, just to give it that little bit of extra, you know, highlight, you could say, or detail. So it's just on the outer edge. And I'm only picking up just a tiny little bit and just dabbing it on. And now, using Gel Play White and the very tip of my brush, I'm just going to add in tiny little dots on the opposite side to where I've put the Aurora Silver. So this is like the center of the flower, and just different size dots, just randomly, you know, placed. A really light touch on the brush. And that's it. So the flowers are finished. So now I just slid my brush through the Gel Play White so that my whole brush is loaded, and I'm just going to create a border around the nail just to finish it off. So obviously you don't have to do that, that's totally up to you, but I think it looks good with the border. And it doesn't need to be perfectly even, so some bits I'm doing a little bit thicker and, you know, allowing a little bit of different, you know, different thicknesses so that it's not perfectly smooth and even. So once you're happy with that, you can pop that in for a cure. So you'll need to make sure that you do a full cure so that we're ready to top coat. So this one here I'm finishing in matte on. So I'm just going to apply a coat over the entire nail. Just making sure that I smooth it out in between the little raised areas of the petal and also the centers, because I don't want to you know, have a bumpy sort of finish. So with a bit of prep and wipe and a lint-free pad, cleanse off the tacky layer or dispersion layer, and there you go. Cute, quick, and super easy. So for this design, again, I'm going to be using Y2K as my base. So I'm going to apply a coat over the entire nail. And now I'm not going to cure. So the Y2K has not been cured, and I'm adding in a dot just with my brush of chill down the center of the nail, and I'm allowing the base and the dot to kind of bleed into one another, you could say. So it'll spread a little bit. So you can make them as big, small, whatever as you want, really. It's completely, you know, optional. So I'm just moving the tip from side to side just to get the flow going a little bit more on that center bit. And then picking up some rave, I'm just going to fill in some gaps down the sides. So it's similar to that effect that you see that looks like crocodile skin or whatever, but not quite the same, but similar. It's just a quick and easy pattern that you can create that's a little bit different. So again, this has not been cured yet. And as you can see, like especially on the right hand side, the rave has started to blend. So you can basically choose to cure it whenever you feel that you've got a good blend, that you're happy with the results. And again, I'm just going to border it. So that has been cured now for the full 30 seconds. And now I'm just going to create a white border around the entire nail. And again, same thing, some areas a little bit thicker, and then thin, and then a little bit thicker. And still using the number 2 brush. So you can kind of see what it would look like with a high shine finish. But we're going to finish this one in matte. So once I've finished with the border, we'll pop that in and cure it for a full cure of 30 seconds. Just touching up little bits of the border to make sure I've got a good even coverage. So that's been cured, and now I'm going to apply a coat of matte on over the entire nail. Checking it in my line of light to make sure I've got good coverage. And now that that's cured, we remove the tacky or dispersion layer, and there's your finished result. So again, just something a little bit different, super quick and super easy. Now for this last design, I've already prepped the tip, so that's one coat of Y2K and with a matte top coat, and then obviously cleansed off. And now using gel play white, I'm just going to put a thin layer of white paint using my number 6 to create like an oval shape in the center of the nail. So I'm using white so that it just sort of stands out that little bit more, the colors that I'm going to layer on top. So once I've got my shape and I'm happy with it, I'm just going to add a little bit more product. I don't need to worry about how even it is or anything like that. It's more just to create a solid background. I'm just cleaning off my brush because you can see that I've sort of poked the color out a little bit. So I'm just going to clean that up. Make sure that my oval is a nice even shape before I pop it into cure it. So we cure for 30 seconds, and now I've got a little bit of shine on. So I'm popping that on my palette and using the number 2 brush, I'm going to apply the shine on to the white area, or the oval white area that I've created. So just keeping it within that white area. And then we're going to repeat the same process that we did with the first tip. So just applying chill in just little dots into the wet shine on, and then coming back with some rave and just filling in between the holes or the gaps, different sizes, just dropping the color on basically. So once I'm happy with the blend, I'll pop that in and cure it for 30 seconds. So I'm just waiting for it to kind of, you know, bleed together a little bit. Okay, so now that that has been cured, I'm going to add in just some little dabs here and there of Aurora Silver. So I'm not applying a lot, it's just to give it like that little bit of something extra. Okay, so once I've done that, I'll pop it in and cure it for 30 seconds. Okay, so now I have picked up some white, and I'm just going to apply random little dabs or dots just around the outer edge of that oval. So I'm just sort of, just touching it to the nail, and just different sizes, and space them out a little bit so they're not sort of blending into one another, and just pretty much create like a border around your and I would refer to it as like a gemstone centerpiece. So I'm going to do that around the entire gem. Very cute and very pretty, simple, super easy design. So once I've completed the outline, I'm now going to add in this section a little bit more of a dot at the top, in the center at the top, and also one down the bottom. So I'm creating like a bigger white bead. And then I'm just going to apply a smaller dot and then a smaller dot. So I'm just making sure that I sort of downsize as I move away from the pattern. Now I'm not going to pop that into cure yet because it's kind of in the center of the nail, so I feel comfortable enough to be able to create the border without worrying about bumping the design or moving any, color. So again, I'm just creating the same border that I did on the previous designs. Just smoothing that bump down a little bit because I didn't want it sort of jutting out too far. And then pop it in and cure it for a full 30 seconds. So now we have a fully cured design, and we're going to cap in shine on. So this design we're going to finish off in a high shine. Now, being that the center bit is kind of raised a little bit, I'm just making sure that my my coverage is even. And once I'm happy with that, we'll pop it in and cure it for 30 seconds. And to finish up, I'm going to pick up a little bit more shine on, a big dollop of it, and using the number 2 brush, I'm just going to add that into the gemstone area, just to give it a little bit of extra height. So I'm kind of floating this because I want to make sure that it's a nice even dome, you could say. And I don't want it too big. You can actually build it a lot higher, but I just wanted it to be a nice soft dome. So back again. I hope you enjoyed this swatch. You will be able to purchase these three the new collection, or these three colors, from your local distributor. So I look forward to bringing you the next swatch, and take care, stay safe, and bye for now.